Congratulations! You've enrolled in AP English Literature and Composition and have no idea what you're truly in for. If you've graduated from AP English Language and Composition, you might be somewhat familiar with the rubric. However, those directly from English 3 are probably overwhelmed with the longevity of the writing portion of the exam and specificity of the essay rubrics. But to all those inclined, here's an in-depth analysis of what College Board expects of you from the 3 essay rubrics.
The literary argument section of the AP Lit essay is likely to be the most familiar segment to those who came from AP Lang. Starting with the thesis, you can easily get this point by effectively restating the argument that the prompt is asking of you. This can be as easy as one sentence in a 2-sentence paragraph at the beginning of your essay, although in truth all you really need is just to restate the prompt and take a stance. Easy as pie. Next up is the evidence, a bit trickier than the last section. In this portion, you'll need to prove your point as best you can using evidence and furthering that point by drawing it back to your claim with commentary elaborating on said evidence. This is where most people tend to miss a few points, as while they write, they follow a string of thoughts that stray from the original claim. One recommendation I could give is to reread the segment of text you finish after finishing its commentary. Therefore, you'll be able to keep your original claim in mind and see if that segment keeps up with what you're arguing for. Lastly, there's the coveted unicorn point, sophistication. This point typically doesn't have rhyme or reason in terms of acquisition, but trust me, there are a couple of things you can do to get yourself closer. For starters, try not to repeat your word choice too often. Using different adjectives with similar meanings wherever possible helps you sound less like a broken record and more so like a person with a repertoire of vast vernacular history. See what I did there?
The first part of the poetry analysis essay is a thesis statement, a statement that responds to the prompt with a valid claim. It's usually included in an introductory paragraph, but can be placed anywhere in the essay. It's worth 1 point total. To earn the point, a student has to write a defensible thesis that responds correctly to the prompt relating to the poem. Restating or summarizing the prompt without a defensible claim will not earn the thesis point. The secondary portion of the essay is evidence and commentary. Evidence is parts of the text that can be used in order to support the thesis statement. Commentary is your own words explaining how the evidence backs up your claim. In order to earn 4 points, for evidence, a student must provide specific pieces from the text to back up the line of reasoning throughout the essay. To earn maximum points for commentary, the student needs to analyze the literary techniques utilized throughout the poem, as well as explain how they contribute to its meaning. Too many grammatical or mechanical errors will negate a student from being able to achieve 4 points. To achieve 4 points, one literary element can be repeated if each instance contributes to the overall message. The final part of the poetry analysis essay is the sophistication point. Think of it like a brownie point. It is earned if a student can show they have a complex understanding of the poem throughout the essay. This means that the writer can identify complexities throughout the poem and explore them in detail, as well as acknowledge other possible meanings a poem could have. The student also needs to be able to relate the poem to a broader context in a style that remains lively and persuasive throughout. The understanding of complexity has to be shown throughout the entire essay. It can't be based off just one sentence or phrase.
The first section of the prose analysis is the thesis. This is scored similarly to the other essay types, the biggest requirement being that there is a defensible thesis. The thesis of a prose fiction analysis should state a particular interpretation of the passage and, ideally, should establish a line of reasoning that structures the rest of the essay. The evidence used needs to be specific and support the thesis and line of reasoning, which was hopefully established in your thesis in its entirety. The commentary needs to build from your evidence and explain how it supports your line of reasoning. The evidence, and therefore the commentary, need to explain and demonstrate how the author uses literary techniques and devices to establish the overarching meaning of the passage. The third scoring section, sophistication, is more nebulous in its requirements, and even getting the point once you meet those requirements. The requirements are that your essay needs to support your interpretation by demonstrating its consistency in the big picture, more than just within the passage. Your essay also needs to account for alternative viewpoints and use a style of writing that is quote-unquote vivid and persuasive, pretty much meaning that if your essay was good enough to get a 4 in the second section, it's likely you'll get this point.
All in all, having a strong writing and analysis ability will definitely get you far, but studying the rubrics inside and out will get you even farther. Scoring above or at a 3 collectively will be met with severely less strain when you have the confidence of meeting and exceeding College Board's expectations. With that, Good luck to all of you students. I'm overwhelmingly confident with your newfound enlightenment in regards to understanding the absolutes and expectations of AP Lit's essays. Good luck!